Welcome to the SaaStock How-To Series, in which we aim to answer questions posed by our community. I'm Alex Humer, CEO at SaaStock, which helps SaaS companies get traction, grow, and scale through our content, community, and conferences. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by Sujan Patel, co-founder at Mailshake. How are you doing, Sujan?
Hey, good. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to talk today about executives and hiring them.
Yeah, cool. Great to have you. Great to have you here. So the question asked by our community is exactly that. How do founders hire executives?
Yeah, so I think first and foremost, you need to know when to hire an executive, and really that comes to looking inside as founders, whether you're 1, 2, 3, 5 people, whatever it is on the founding team, and look at your strengths and look at your weaknesses. I think generally people have weaknesses in the CFO position, and in the beginning days, you're still like hunting and figuring out where you should hire, right? Should you hire a VP of sales first? Are you sales led? Are you product led? And so that's going to determine who and what you hire. So you have to really figure that out. And I would say like that takes a while. And you have to figure out, who are the executives you need, right? So I'll give you an example. At Mailshake, we hired a VP of engineering first, 3 co-founders, 1 kind of ops and finance, 1 marketing and product, which is me, and then the 3rd one technical and then product. So we have overlap there. First was a VP of engineering because we were clear like we need more management power. So I would look at like where you're struggling and try to find the gaps in your product and I mean in your team, and then also secondary look at where if you had a insert title, if you had the best performing dev or engineering team, what would you be able to do? If you had the best marketing team, if you had the best sales team, ultimately you should aim for getting all of those covered, but start with kind of the thing that would get you the growth the fastest. So to put it in a tangible, actionable way, where to find these folks, first and foremost is making that job description. I look at clarity.fm or other folks that are in that position. So we just hired a VP of marketing. I talked to about a dozen VP of marketing or CMO folks or other CEOs who have hired a VP of marketing for a company in the 1 to 20 million range. Again, you have to look at your size. Never hire kind of too far ahead. You don't want a VP of marketing from Salesforce when you're, a $10 million ARR company. That doesn't make any sense. You're very different. Your budgets are different, whatever. And so get experts that are practitioners to review your job description. Make sure they help you set your expectation. And it's as simple as a cold email or a ping on LinkedIn, like, hey, look, we're hiring this person. Would you mind if I run this, job description by you? Get feedback. Guarantee you're going to have a lot of misconceptions, inaccurate job description, but you'll fix it. The next step is then to just make a hit list of people you think would be amazing at that, and really just go outbound. I don't want to oversimplify it, but it's identifying your weaknesses as a founder and weaknesses in your organization, making a job description you think is good. And if you don't know what's a good one, just take what's out there and then put it together and get feedback, and then going outbound to find your person. And that the next part is really the interview process. So let's say you find, for VP of marketing, I found about 150 people that would fit the bill. Again, my bill was company that was a SaaS company, B2B SaaS, that looked like they've worked in the 1 to 20 million range, because I'm optimizing for my immediate 2-year period. And it's a big thing to do, is like, don't hire for, you don't want to buy clothes for when you lose weight. You want to buy the suit and tie that fits you today, right? And then put them through an exercise. So have a casual call, ping them. 150 people turned into about 12 or 13 people that went through the first phone interview. I had them all do an exercise where I share the exercise was, how are you going to double the company? Let me know what you need to know. So it's a double-edged exercise. One is I want to see what kind of questions they ask. 2, I want to see what they come up with based off the information they're given. And that turned into, 3 kind of finalists. And then, that one or 2 offers were made.
And so when you're, let's say, getting this list of 150 with executives for this particular role, you know, are you doing, like, how are you building that list of 150? I know you mentioned you're having some conversations on clarity, but like, how do you scale to get like that many applications and then whittle it down to the 12?
Yeah. So here's what I do. I email conference organizers like yourself. I'm like, hey, Alex, I'm hiring a VP of marketing. Do you know anybody? Your job is to talk to SaaS folks every day, right? So, and you have a group of SaaS folks. So my guess is you or some other SaaS community may have a few people. Maybe help me make a short list, talk to folks in clarity, talk to folks that like fit the bill, but maybe like too far ahead, and ask them if they know anybody. Usually that's a good start to maybe get a list of 10. The other thing is I look for other, let's say in the VP of marketing role, other marketers, like guys like Neil Patel, Rand Fishkin. You know, I've got a fairly big network. So like if you're like, look at people we're connected to and look at any one of our first degree connections and do a search. So you have to be first and foremost on LinkedIn connected to me. So connect to me, ask me for help. You know, if you ask me for help, I'm going to accept your invite. I may not talk to you, but I'm going to accept it. Then you can look through my first degree connections, and you want to look for search keywords, right? So a first degree connection to me. And then number 2 is, you know, SaaS and growth as keywords, or VP of growth or director of growth. I usually look for growth versus marketing. So if you're hiring a VP of engineering and your tech stack's like Node.js, use Node and VP, right? Like look for the things that are the hardest in your role. And that will get you people that myself or Neil or an influencer or well-connected person or Alex, I might go and do the same thing for your profile. And that will get me a short list of people. Now, I don't know if they're fully vetted, and you don't really know if somebody is a connection that knows them, but this is a curated list of like good people. So like go to like 10 or 15 people. I built 130 or so of the 150 from just that. And the other folks are just, I asked around, I maybe had 2 qualified applicants. So put the job rec out there, but it's more formality. I find these VP roles are hunted, not applied to. And you never know. But again, going back to it, this is the job right here of a recruiter. And yes, you could have a VA or a recruiter do the intro calls. But my interviews, when I explain what Mailshake does, I'm listening back for what the heck the wheels are turning in their head of like, repeat it back to me and make sure you understand it. I'm not actually asking them to do that, but I kind of have a very open-ended conversation to see how they talk back to me. Another really good way is if, you know, right now it's even though COVID's happening, I would say it's harder than ever to find good employees or hiring right now, because the whole world is just opened up to saying, oh, we're remote now too, right? So like we were a remote first organization, and all of a sudden Google, Facebook, every other company paying more than us, bigger than us, and, you know, bigger budgets is the same way. So you kind of have to figure out what's your sweet spot. So for us, we're bootstrap. I weed people out in the beginning saying, hey, we're bootstrap. If you're thinking of hiring a 20-person marketing team, you're talking to the wrong company. Our company size is 20 people. We expect to hire 2 or 3 people, expect to be hands-on. And, you know, those types of intro questions will weed people out pretty quickly.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Sujan, for answering that question posed by our community on how you hire executives. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks.